Welcome in, guys, to a very special episode of Paint Night Tonight. I've got a guest tonight that I'm very excited about. This is not a Phillip Anthony back here. We have Mr. Edson Campos. Everyone, welcome Edson Campos.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, we are about to have a show on the 19th that's going to be featuring Edson. And guys, we have so many amazing artists, and so many times you guys come in and see the artwork. But one thing about Edson is he's probably our most awarded artist and most accomplished artist as far as has already had gallery museum shows and won major awards. And so I wanted to take you behind the scenes and hear a little bit more about some of the major awards that he's won and have you hear it directly from Edson himself. Thanks for joining us, Edson.
Okay, no, thank you. Yeah, I work hard like we all know. We try our best, and I love what I do. And I respect art, and I want to bring to everyone, to the people, something that I believe, and I think enhance people's life. It's something that everybody needs, I believe. I have a quote that say, "Beauty is essential to the well-being of the soul," and I think. Just like example, when you see a beautiful sunset, a beautiful moonlight, like your work, Phillip, it's a moment of beauty, and that fills your soul with something. It can be just a moment, and that's kind of my work. It's a moment in time, but just brings joy, a memory of something good. So that's the concept of my work, and yeah, I do. And I'm thankful that I'm still doing. My health is good, my hands are good, my brain is good, and I'm still kicking. So
guys,
thank you for
thank you for being here. Recently, there are so many different sort of shows and events that go out there. But what's amazing about Edson, we just showed you a picture of a museum that he'd been in, and here's a living artist that's already been featured in museums. And recently, he actually went over to Paris to the French Salon. There are national competitions, regional competitions, and then there are world competitions. And recently, Edson didn't just go over there. We were so lucky to see this piece before it even went and premiered. He went over and took first place, gold at... Yes.
Yeah,
we have a picture?
The event is the old French Salon. That's been out there for 250 years or so. And it's where all the artists fought for, the Rodin and, all these people, and when they go, it's not as powerful as was, but it's still there. It's prestigious. It's in, it's the government of France in downtown Grand Palais in Paris. And yeah, I did win the gold medal. So I'm very thankful. And it's very hard because it's like 20 different judges and they all have to agree. So it's very hard. So they all agree that was my turn, my time. So it's like a historic event still. So I'm very honored and very happy they like my work, But yeah.
Congratulations, Edson.
Thank you. Yes.
No,
and the piece was unveiled at the gallery, I think it was in October. We did an event in there.
You guys were some of the first to see that.
Yes. So, yeah, and it's a lot of effort. Now you have to take the painting apart, ship the painting, or ship the stretcher, get to to the other side of the world and put the painting together. So I like it, but it's nice to see the crowds and I think also my work, it's old world and it's romantic and nature, and I think the European likes that also. Now, of course, American but there they really appreciate the well rendered, work, and like the times are changing, but they appreciate that skill, like you, Philip, they have a great skill, details. So the Europeans, they definitely appreciate that here too, but I think even more there because there's a tradition of the precise, well rendered, well designed art. And so, and that's why I do the events in there, and we all learn a lot. And I take opportunities to see the museums. They always have good shows. I had a chance to see a Leonardo show that was going on when I was there, the 500 years of Leonardo da Vinci, that artist that I love. I got inspired by. But yeah, so yeah, I keep doing, and I believe in the arts. It's important. Yes.
So one thing that I love about your work, and I don't know if everyone catches on to that, is the tie of like an old master with a new figure, new composition. So I think we have Young Parisian, and there's a few stories about this piece right here, but specifically, like, what's the master that we have behind that piece?
Yeah, I get inspired by the old masters because I did not go to school. So growing up in Brazil, I always looked books, art books. So that was my education in art. And it's interesting too, in the Brazil you have the church, so the beautiful art, so the classic art, so I always inspired by that. But that piece you just showed, it's someone that was working at the museum at that time, a few years ago. And she looked like something that I would like to paint. So she was the perfect, like you say, muse for what I wanted to portray. She's a contemporary person, a person of today's, but dressed like something from the past. And I say, oh my God, this is the perfect subject. So I start painting. I didn't know the reaction of people here, but I liked it. So then I start painting, and people accept. They love the image because it's about beauty, and it's something very gentle. And yes, I start painting, and I sold, and people ask for more. And yes, this is almost my how they say, a card, represents well what I'm trying to bring. The old looks like an old Vermeer, a Dutch artist, like the girl with the pearl earring. I don't want to compare myself to that, but it feels like it's something coming from the past.
That's the influence, and now you have this modern model who's inspired you, and you guys will see Eve again and again in his artwork. She's a muse of his.
Yeah, it would be that traditional idea of muse, but and she was dressed like that. I never asked her to dress, anything. That's the way she was dressed. And I was like, wow, that's perfect. Now I don't need to do anything. And that picture alone was we just walk out at the museum. I took a picture. I got luck. I got a nice image, and I painted. And through the years, I've been painting different images of her. And yes, we meet with her. We were just there in February, and we met. And now she has a son, and the son keep asking now, oh, when you gonna paint me now? Because he sees his mother in a lot of paintings.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, and I just paint. I show you. I just paint the son. I show you real fast. This is a large painting. Remember the large painting?
Yeah, that's Eve's son?
So, yeah, I just finished, and the people.
Oh wow!
This is just a print, but the little boy here is the son of the girl.
So,
that girl there.
How many years ago did you meet Eve?
I think it's about 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
15 years ago. Yeah, something like that, yeah. And
guys,
every year we go, we visit. I haven't photographed her, how they say, now, recently. but the pictures that I took in that time is just perfect. It was so lucky. And I think too, because I was at the museum, so I'm getting inspiration from the museum, and I saw that person. So we just went and photographed. So everything, my eyes was very, you probably understand, it's very, sharp, seeing all the paintings. So all the photographs that I took at that time, it's a perfect painting, So I keep going back to that, yeah.
This is what I wanted with our show, is like, you walk into our gallery, you're amazed by this work. You might start seeing and recognizing, if you know some of your great masters, what he's pulling from. There's another piece right now, a Da Vinci piece that was inspired right here.
Yeah.
And
yes.
Tell us about this real quick.
Yeah, I love this piece because it's basically the Annunciation of Leonardo da Vinci, the angel. I just love that image, of the angel. It's just a beautiful, elegant, gentle angel. I think one of the nicest rendering of an angel, the colors. So I want to bring a modern person. So that's my photograph that I took. Everything that you see of my subject is my photograph, my one photograph. So I took a photograph of the girl on the mirror. So I tried to create a connection between now and the past. The idea that is the past is with us. The art, the old, it's with us. So in the mirror, for me, it's always something interesting with the mirror. So the idea of that young woman reaching to the other side, and I call Annunciation. So not going to religion like the Christian, the Catholic Annunciation of Mary, but it's a sign, and I call the piece a sign. So it's something coming to her, and it's not on a good way, because it's being brought by an angel, But it's the connection I like, because it's the connection with the old and the new, and I use the mirror as a magic, how they say, that put the two together, the past and the future, Yeah, so that's the idea of that piece, yeah, and I call a sign, yeah. So, but for me, that was a happy, it took me a while, it's funny, to get to that point, because I had the angel, and one time I just paint the angel, like copying the masters. I just did the angel, and after I kept looking, and I have the painting in my bedroom. I love that angel, and after I saw the image of the mirror, it's like, oh my God, if I can put the two together, it's gonna work, So sometimes it takes years to click.
And what's neat too is you shoot all your own models, correct?
Yes. Yes, definitely. Yes, it's all my material. Yes, yeah.
So I highly love and respect that. I mean, for my seascapes, that's half of the enjoyment, is going out, being in the moment, being inspired, capturing that image. But what I noticed with your work is we might see that model, that same position, but put into totally different new pieces of work.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, because the pose is there, and I try to create, because we, as art, we have to create too, keep busy. So I try to see different ways to portray the same idea, so the same feeling in a different format, so I can, other clients can have the work too, but yeah, it's still unique. Everyone is unique, and I try to be as creative as possible. I don't want to repeat myself, so I'm very careful on that. But sometimes I have different way to convey that image, that moment.
I get it. There are pieces I paint in black and white. Now I want to paint them in color. Now I want to do something impressionistic. Now realistic.
Sure.
You capture a moment of beauty, and you want to express it in so many ways. You don't want just that one idea. And it means a lot, because I see you doing the same thing. And both of us, we did not go to school for art. So Edson is a self-taught artist.
Guys, passion. It's our passion, not our love. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Very much
And you
so.
see, we bring it out, bring it out the best.
I love that, guys. That's why I have a strong, huge appreciation for Edson. You know, it's our passion of we developed this by just time and hours at the easel because we love what we're doing so much. We're captured by beauty. He's captured in beauty of the old masters and figures. For me, it's nature. But when you have that inspiration in you, you want to share that. You want to pour that out. And he creates these amazing pieces. And the awards, I am humbled and floored by. Like, I'm honored to have him in our gallery. We have a few more pieces of some awards. What else do we have?
Yeah. This is called opera.
I
And
know that one.
You have behind you, and that was I was showing at the Grand Palais, and that's the building, a beautiful building in downtown Paris. And that piece, that was the first time I went there, and I got bronze. And it was nice how it happened because I was showing a gallery in Paris there. So the director of the salon, the French salon, saw my work and invited me to be part of the French salon. So that's how it worked. You know. So that was 2009. So I've been going there since then. So about 11 years. Yeah.
So that was there in Paris.
Yes.
You will not let go of this original. We have tried to get you to sell this original.
It's right here, the original in my house.
Edson has the original, but you can see a limited edition giclée of that in our gallery. So we do have a museum quality reproduction of the piece. And guys, that's
it's a little smaller than the original. The original is larger, but it's just a little smaller. But it's still, the impact is there. You know, it needs the impact. You know, the grandioso. And the story sometimes, it's about a king that preferred to destroy everything. You know, so it's a lot of story. Why I call the opera, but so it's an interesting story there. And the opera, it's all revenge, you know, it's a drama. So that's why I try to design that painting with that theme, you know, of the opera, you know, the Italian opera. So, yes.
I can't say this about my work. I can't say this about most of the artists' work in our gallery. But guys, you can collect a piece of work that has shown and hung in museums across the world. We have the St. Louis Museum. So you had, it was pretty recent, a show at the St. Louis Museum. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
2017. And the show was nice because a husband-wife show. My wife, Kathleen Brodeur, is an artist also. So they gave us a husband and wife show. And that is the St. Louis University Museum of Art. It's a beautiful building. Beautiful. And we have altogether about 100 pieces of art. That was unbelievable to be alive and to have a show to that magnitude, you know, with and was a beautiful space, you know. I think it's more than 5,000 square feet of gallery. It was beautiful. And you see the building, it looks like an old French building, you know. So, and that place is a historic place in St. Louis. It used to be a social club. And the history say, you know, like the governors, and then they have a World Fair in St. Louis. It was very famous in close to 19 something. And that building was part of that. So it's a historic building. Yeah, you'll see, you know, it's beautiful as architecture. And I myself love architecture, just to see even the banners. I felt so, you know, when we drove in to see the show, the banners are there. So I feel so good, you know, with all, looks like a real museum. You know, so make us very happy, you know, myself and my wife. Yeah. And we have at the show too, a combination of my work, because sometimes we do work together, we collaborate. So they have one side of the show that was a collaboration between my work and my wife's work. But I was very honored to have a show like that, on a beautiful space also too, not just a show, but that is. And they say, as a university, is supposed to be the fourth museum in the universities in the country.
Yeah.
The number 4, so it's like it feels good, so to have that when you're still alive.
I'm still trying. I'm not there yet.
Don't worry.
I gotta say, I know Edson Campos.
You're still young, no problem. Plenty to go.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
So let's check out some more awards, because I want to brag about you. This is, let's see what else we have here, but I can't really describe. I can only show you what he's done to try to describe the magnitude of what Edson has accomplished here. And again, self-taught artist. So this is Eve again in a different composition.
The girl that I photographed at that time. And I try to do some, this is in London. It is, they call the British Petroleum Portrait Competition. And it's going on every year. So I sent that image, that portrait. So I did not got to the final, but I got as a semi-finalist. And it's about 60 semi-finalists. I sent the work to London. And they decide, and they get about 35 to 40 finalists. So it was a semi-finalist, but I didn't get to the final, to be at the show, to be there at the National Portrait Gallery in London. So it is a very prestigious place, So I almost got it.
I don't know how to describe this to you guys. Again, you have your local shows, you have your national shows. These are the world shows that Edson's going to, and not just going to, but winning. What's the next piece that we have with an award here?
There are no international. This one is in here in Miami. It's the Miami Art Basel, and one of the shows, the venue is called Art Spectrum, but it's that weekend of the Art Basel in Miami. So they gave me an award of distinction there with my paintings, And this is, at the French Salon last year. So they gave me a silver medal. So that painting behind me was a silver medal there last year, 2019.
Is that original available?
The original, no. I try to hold to the awards, paintings. I make a very small edition, and it's a nice size, but the original, not right now. Maybe
he won't let him go. I keep trying. Guys, I have to say this. We had the last piece that actually took first place at the salon. We premiered it at our gallery a few months ago, and there was an opportunity. I talked him into it, where he would actually sell. Do you have the piece that won? And this is actually personally one of my favorite pieces that you've actually created.
Okay, thank you.
So we got to see that first at one of our Edson shows. That's what I'm trying to do for you guys. I'll let you guys see this before anyone else do. It went to the French Salon. It took first place. I already know the answer to this question, but is that one available? Are we?
No.
Nope.
No.
I think you guys think we're trying to, be like, oh, you better get this or else. It just happened. I knew it was going to happen. I love that piece. Maybe before the next show, we'll get a piece premiered and we'll see. But I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
I'm honored that our gallery gets to premiere those pieces. I think we have one or two more, so let's see what else that we have here.
Yeah, this is a nice piece. I like it very much. And I got a gold medal also. It's close to Paris. It's a salon of Coubron. The city is Coubron. The medal is from, has an artist called Camille Corot. He's a French artist, so that's the award. but I won a gold medal, I think 2012, and that was a gold medal there. And I like the piece, it's about summer, and I love the way they did the frame, the Gothic frame, so keeping with the old with a modern look too. And but yeah, so that's yeah. And that piece also went to St. Petersburg. It was a show in Russia. That piece already is in Russia.
St. Petersburg, Russia.
It went to Russia.
Not Florida, Russia.
Because the awards and through the gallery in Paris, they do events. So they did the event in St. Petersburg in Russia. So that piece was there. And I have a video, even on my website has a video there. But yeah, I was there in a beautiful place. It's the Fine Art School in St. Petersburg. That's where was the show. So that piece was there. Yeah, it was for a while. Yeah, but it's not for sale either. I'm keeping that too. You can get a print. But I like
I've been to his home. You want to tour that home? It's filled with gold. Just these amazing paintings. That
and that's that face. Now, if you remember the face of the blue shawl, remember the piece you have. Yeah. So it's the same girl face, and I use her in a different contest. But yeah, again, like you said, I use the face, and I create a different whole story.
We also now have like two of your latest pieces that are going to be coming to the show. So what do we have as far as the new artwork?
Okay, this is very recent, and so it's not too big. I think it's 26 by 20, something like that. And I'm just playing the wall. It's like from Pompeii, from the past. And again, I'm just bringing, this one is just a portrait. It's nothing, does not have a story there, line, but it's just a person in front of an old, a wall, But yeah.
Okay, so why the portraiture?
Yeah, I just, it's almost like a homage to the femininity, the beauty on that level. So, I don't know, since young, I just love the image of the beauty, and yes, the young. But I'm trying to be very respectful, and it's about the classic beauty. It's like something that you see, you look at, and brings you, in my mind, brings something good, about beauty, the young, the freshness. So it's something that I've been doing, and that romantic idea, I guess, of something that you look for, maybe coming from Brazil, But yeah, it's hard to try to explain that part.
Well,
but,
here's something I'll share is, I started in portraiture, and I have such a great appreciation for it because it's one thing in painting a seascape or nature. Like if I paint a tree and it branches off, well, in nature, maybe that occurred. I think portraiture, figurative, that is one of the hardest things to create. Because if you paint a nose over here, you got a Picasso. That's not what we had. Or just the slightest little detail in an eye or a cheek can change the entire expression.
It's very demanding. But I just love that, and it's an effort. But I think that's part of my work. I'm very peculiar, but it's demanding. It's demanding to make sure not just realistic, but it needs to look natural in the same time. So it's something that I developed. And I did a lot of portraits on the street. It's something, when I'm in Brazil traveling. So that's one thing I started doing in the street portrait. So that was a great practice, because you're right there, 20 minutes, you have to finish a portrait. So, and I developed a taste, but yeah, it's something that I'm proud of, but it took a lot of work.
Guys, from on the streets to now one of literally the best portrait artists in the world. We can say that.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's no, I'm trying to still improve. I keep improving the technique, because the oil, I did airbrush, so the oil painting, it's always something that I'm always not fighting, but learning all the time,
We have
it's
that in common.
Yeah, it's oil. My work is oil.
But I think that we both actually came from an airbrush background, and I don't.
Yeah.
When I approached galleries with that, they just went, "This is amazing, but we want it in oil." And what it helped with me is it literally taught me to glaze. It taught me how to mix and blend colors in a way that a traditional painter who's laying something directly down right off the bat, that's not the same approach that I learned from when I airbrushed in the start, because I might glaze a yellow and then an orange and a red and a purple, and now it comes to life. And not to say that's how I approach everything now, but
it's always there.
Yes, it's one of those tricks in our bags that is something extra that I don't think you normally learn.
Right on. Perfect. Yeah. Well said. Because that's, I still paint, because the airbrush, when I did, the white was my light on the paper,
Yes.
So I still work on the canvas with the white canvas as my light. Mm-hmm. And that's why my work has a lot of light, because I use the canvas, so it's very transparent. My work is very transparent, translucent. I don't use heavy paint, as an oil painting. So it's a totally a technique that I developed, bringing the airbrush, my drawing skill, so it's all together. I bring all the art of my work, because I didn't learn. So I'm bringing different, genres of the art on my painting, so.
And I want to clarify, we both have that as a tool in our background, and the neat thing about airbrushing is you approach almost like a watercolorist, because again, it's the white of the canvas or white of the watercolor. But the work we do now, if I'm working in oils, there is zero airbrushing involved. And if you're working in oils, I would assume that's the same situation.
Oh, no, I don't use airbrush anymore,
So...
But it's always there, I'm thinking, I have this drawing, here, I love black and white. I love the work, but I think I see in black and white, and I use color.
Yeah.
But I love black and white, and I love the contrast, the dark and light, and the different shades, of the gray. So that pleases me. And my work is on the cut, and I use colors, but my work is on the, monochromatic, range, and I do use colors, and to be honest, with my wife, she's the best colorist, so I learned a lot from her adding colors.
So guys,
I love black and white. I love black and white. That's my I think my soul there, it's the... I
do too, just a little bit.
Huh?
I do too, just a little bit.
Oh, no. A little bit. No, it's a lot of there. It's, and the color can be distractive. You can get, distracted by the colors, but the black and white, it's right there, hits you right there in your heart, straight shot to you.
There's a timeless thing, I think, between drawing. I think that goes so far back, right? It has that very classical look. And
I love drawings. I always look in the great masters drawing first. And paintings, yes. But I love to see the hands, the rendering, because you can really see, how they built,
You did a really neat piece that was the Mona Lisa, but it wasn't just the Mona Lisa. It was with the concept and idea that what would Da Vinci's sketchbook look like?
The idea of how Leonardo built up his composition, because I love composition. And like my work, to be honest, is a lot of composition. So I have.
He didn't even know I was going to talk about this. This is amazing. There it is.
So I gotta block it. So yeah, I can never try to paint Leonardo. I'm not gonna even try, to
Right.
copy him on a painting. But I believe with this drawing, I achieved to, with the drawing, it's like a sketch. I think I got the feeling that Leonardo got in his painting. And so I did a few works on that level. The concept is the idea of a notebook. So I have a few pieces that has that, concept, And but yeah.
And
I love that piece.
am
But
I
don't
right, or did?
compare, to that Leonardo, but I believe I got close as the feeling because he loved the sfumato, that the idea of the sfumato from the old masters.
Now,
so with the drawing, you can achieve that.
where did you see that piece that influenced that? Because I think you had mentioned that you studied some of his drawings and then you wanted to go back and literally you were trying to repeat the way that he even sketched. Is that correct?
Yes. No, I look at, and I have another piece, that is the Last Supper. So we found a book about the first sketches of the Last Supper. You had at the gallery the prints.
Yeah.
And basically, it's interesting when you try to reproduce, to copy a master, and I really try, so you learn so much. It's almost like you can go to their brain, how they did what they did. Now, because we have ways to paint, and we have our little tricks or our little, ways to accomplish what we want, So when you copy artists, you can go there. You can find like, smart guy. That's how he did, So you learn so much. So yeah, and he was left hand. So you can see sometimes, the strokes. A person that is left hand is different than a person that is right hand. So you can see the strokes. And you can, that's how it's different. And that's how he wrote, the reverse, the whole thing. So you understand the human, on that person, their capability, their hand caps, the whole thing. You can see it, how far he can go. But and again, I just saw the best show of Leonardo in February. I was in Paris at the Louvre. And all the collection of all his works, and it's amazing to see, And for me to get to that, prior to that, I saw a show in the Metropolitan New York of Michelangelo with all his drawings for the Sistine Chapel, and that was unbelievable. That was totally unbelievable to see also, the hands of the master, So that was a lot of love.
Speaking of shows, we are going to have Edson Campos here June 19th, 20th, and 21st in St. Augustine. And that's all I want to give him today. I want him to hear the rest from you.
Okay.
Edson, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for you guys, for your attention, for your time. And I'm looking forward to visit with all of you. And thank you very much, Phillip, for bringing my work to the gallery and such a nice display. I'm always very honored to see my work very well displayed. I thank you very much.
Oh, it's an honor to our gallery. And guys, again, June 19th, 20th, 21st, Edson will be here creating live and telling about the stories of all his pieces that we have there. And please, come on out. We'd love you to meet him and experience that art for yourself. Thank you, Edson.
Thank you, Phillip. You have a good evening.
You have a great night. All right.
Okay.
We'll see you guys there.
We'll see you. Bye now.